How's it going, everybody? Kyther here, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Been a while since we've been on top of our little mountain rock here, looking down at the base. Last time we got all the oil stuff there set up, very quickly and crudely. But today that's going to change. Well, hopefully all of that, but more importantly, everything you see here is gonna go goodbye. We may even potentially move the space elevator at some point. I don't know if that's gonna necessarily stay there. I've also gone and put up a little bit of a... Actually, may or may not be able to see it from here. You can kind of just see it. A bit of a road. A straight flat road that connects that area over to where he comes from, which is actually good timing because I need to stop him yoink, from doing any more shenanigans. We should be able to jump down, take a little bit of damage. Quickly catch a Rooney you. Because nope, I want to drive you. Let's just back you up over here. Not what I want to do. Disable the autopilot. And I bet you are full. Pretty much, yes. This is not emptying. He's getting more than I know what to do with because this is barely being used. But anyway, all of that's gonna go. But before we do that, I left you guys on a bit of an accidental cliffhanger-ish last time. We put the quick wire into the MAM and I forgot to check it out. Incoming message.
New technologies have been developed based on this new element, primarily in power and electronics, and can now be accessed in Hub Tier 5.
Sounds beautiful also. But computer? Hello? What do? Also, I'm going to try and leave this session for a while, but these things are hilarious. Just muted Pioneer for 1,000 years, because I did not respond. And then the computer has a fatal error. It is hilarious. Then we have update system. And then he's playing solitaire. It's pretty cool. I realized I'd actually not looked at these screens, and this one's initializing unconventional screen resolution. Anyway, what is it that we unlocked in Tier 5? Kytherium. Electronics. A smart separator, AI limiter, prevents electronics used to control AI and keep them from evolving in malicious ways. Okay, supercomputer, next generation version of the and high-speed connector. As we connect several cables and wires in efficient ways, their pattern to applications may be varied. It does sound pretty cool. Also, we have a jetpack and gas mask, but we won't get around to them until that is basically automated. Although, I can get that. I have enough quickwire. Let's grab it. Alright, it has thine materials selected. Throw them all in. Lotus and the quickwire. We had exactly 2,000 quickwire left after what happened the other day. Launched. Term electronics.
A more specialized use of Kytherium has been unlocked. Smart splitters and new advanced electronic parts are now available.
It sounds cool. Your smart splitter takes 3 bolts instead of rules which go where left, right. Or which part should go left and which part should go right. Okay. And you need those and those. And oh dear. Is a bit of expensive, so the high-speed connector. Again, not entirely sure what you're using for. Of course, you use computers. You use that. So you seem a little bit backwards in the ordering of things. But did I see anything fancy up here? No, I didn't. I am aware that I should go get more of the hard drives as well. Definitely should make some fabric and put that in there, but to get the fabric, actually I need to unlock that, which I have to do once he comes back. But anyway, keen-eyed people would notice. All of this stuff is all turned off. And that is because, like I said, it's all gonna go bye-bye. There we have it. The once beginnings of our base is now barren, except for the remaining storage containers that have a little bit of stuff in them. And that one container. This will stay until I... Actually, I should probably stop that as well. Alright, we'll just turn you off. And I just let everything run out of it before I remove it. I was going to leave this one here, but at the same time, this is all going to be moved. It's got the power poles left. It looks a little bit funny just seeing how closely together they are. Well, right on. I suppose it's straight on to step 2 of expanding that out. So I did show it off a little bit last time, although a little bit poorly. But you can put these foundations, I think so long as they're just over the top of this, like so. We can put down, I'm going to have to swap it, because I don't have, what am I after? The stuff for that one. So you can put these down and these will still snap on top of it. That way you can actually have the miners inside of the buildings, which is what I was trying to show off last time. I think I'll end up facing it that way though, so we can not have the clipping here. Or hopefully it looked like it might not clip. No, it still will. Damn you, rock. So I've cleared out the bottom floor of all the iron production, because it's going to need to be redone anyway. But I was going to start hooking everything back up, and then I realized pretty much all of this has to, well, kind of needs to go, shift over, at least we won't have this weird thing being out anymore. Like, all of them will be out that far, possibly one more? No, that's getting too close to that, otherwise it could have, except for that one. And I think that thing somehow encroaching space there, unless it is this, which is just weird at that point, because that went there. But anyway, I also realized that instead of building up, sort of down, up, I kind of need to keep in mind of all the things we need to make over here as well. Oh, there you go, all of the wire is stopped. And we got in the reverse of what was happening with these. It's now happened with these, and they've backed up into here. Is there no more coming through? I'll have to check on that. I may have cut power or something by accident, because that's been sitting at 13 for ages, so I'm a little worried about that. You still going though. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do some thinking. All of this stuff's gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to have just a storage silo graveyard in the middle here or something, whilst I sort of work on all this stuff. So at this point in time, I'm not actually certain what I said in the last clip. It's been a bit of a gap between there and this one, in terms of work and also being away from the computer. But I just wanted to bring you guys back in, one, show what I've done downstairs here, and also to say that instead of keeping everything super close together, like all the copper stuff at least, I want to maybe try and keep that small section being like a copper tower essentially. I don't know why I jumped back. And where possible, I'd like to just do like little housing units, like have a bridge of conveyor belts going from there to here. I don't even know if they would reach. It probably wouldn't. Something I'd have to check. And with the place over here, probably go around this thing and keep all of this stuff over there-ish. And maybe try and keep majority of the bottom level, Abisichi, that's why my mouse not moving, to the vehicles, which may require this being changed again. But in saying that, we don't need to do one trip for that if once we turn both of them on, because we have the smart splitter now, as well as only one station for each wherever the trucks go. Yeah, let's jump down to the bottom. We may or may not take damage there. Yeah, we did. Ooh, as you can see, all of the iron. Be very careful, I'm gonna die. All the iron processing stuff has stopped. And down the bottom here, just enough room for me to not get stuck, we have a room of oddly done smelters. At the back here we have all of the ores. At the moment they're doing 120, so they're times 2 that are on here. And I've put it in so when if we were to put all of these in, but I won't let me do it because there's no power. Put all these in, we get to 300 per mining machine, so it's 900 ore a minute. I was going to say a second, that'd be too much. And if we were to split all the incoming ore up, we can... Actually, no, I think I'm only going double, because I think it's just, it gets too wide, but I might be changing setup. But if we just put 2 power shards in each of those, we double our processing ability, and we just use the ones at the back. So at the moment, this may or may not have made sense. I either do displaying goods or don't. None of these back ones they're hooked up to power, but they're not going to be used at the moment. It's only these front row of 12 it should be, because I think each one at the moment uses 4. Yes. But once we hook that up, we're going to have... I'm trying to get pretty much full efficiency going from the ground up, whilst, at least for the mining and the smelting, getting it to super efficiency. Again, I could throw power shards in here, but they're a little bit... I'd have to go on a serious hunting trip to be able to power all of these up as well, so that's just not going to happen. But then, yeah. Yeah? What? I don't know what I'm talking about. In just the overlooking everything. This little tower section's going to have to go. All of this stuff's going to be going as well. I've fallen down. I'm going to die if I'm not careful. This is a very long clip. My apologies. But yeah, that's just where we're looking at the moment. We have a lot of status. At the moment. So yeah. That building might get slightly longer. I think it is already slightly longer that way. We're gonna have some major changes this episode, and I'm gonna more or less, a lot of it's gonna be done off camera, otherwise it's gonna be a very long episode. I've already tacked it on by a lot, but this little clip here. Yes, I'm gonna go get back to work. Alright, so quick little detour. We're gonna go and grab the hard drives from this crash site, and the one over here by the coal plant that I have somehow neglected and forgotten about. The drive? And the crash site we walked past when looking over here for the oil. Oh, that's not how we open that. So that allows us 3 hard drives. And while I'm over here, I wanted to point out this weird looking ore that's over here. And just so you are aware, it is not coal. So I don't know what it is. We're going to quickly have a look. Alright, so what is it? It is nothing. Sample impure. Now, I've heard a little bit of rumors about these. That these things are kind of broken and they have no use in the game at the moment. So we're just going to leave that be for now. But now we know exactly what it is. And even though I'm grabbing them kind of out of order, I'm also going to be grabbing... Well, I might be able to grab it until I cut the stuff down. Alright, cut it down we shall. Bum bum bum. Chainsaw go. I just took down the entire tree. But grabbing the easy to grab power slugs. This is 2. And this is 3, even though I grabbed this one first. And with great difficulty also, I think there's a... Yep, there it is. Don't fall down there. I got stuck down in a hole. But great difficulty, come up here. Scaffold, jump our way to grab a number 4. So with those hard drives, we can now hopefully scan them in 10-minute intervals, and they will allow us to hopefully better do stuff with the factory. Because as I just was looking at these, we got a new reinforced plates. We had that's the original one using screws, but the alternate one uses wire, which turns out to be a lot better because it also makes 3 compared to the 1. And our first blueprints is not all that well. That one's alright. There's a cheaty thing you can do. I think we can get out of that. Yeah, so we can go out and check. What's the normal? I was literally just looking at the encased beams too. Oh, we can just use pipes instead of the actual beams. That might be alright because the steel pipes are easy to make. 5 concrete. That's 6 concrete. It's 10 concrete. More concrete. Oh boy. A quick wire. Making 90 parts. Or use no, I wouldn't use Kyther to make wire. I'd really only go that way. So I think we're gonna go the blueprint for the encased industrial beams for the first one. No incoming message. We can just start up the next one. And our second is probably gonna be this one, the heavy modular frame, even though we don't need... I mean, that's probably the best there. I'm not unsure about these two. The balance of the hard drive is completed. No new research is available. Excuse me. Try again later to further progress. Interesting. Yeah, again, I'm just looking at this one, because this one requires screws and 180 of them. So, dropping these down to here, was it the encased beam? That's the same. It does require more pipes, but only by 6. And less modular frames. I will take that one. Beautiful. And our third and final hard drive. Also, the cheaty way is to save before you do this, which I'm not doing. And while we wait for other things as well, we're going to grab the heavy modular frame and launch that off. Baboosh. Did we get a message with this one? No, because it's just an unlock. As well as unlocking the encased industrial beam as well. Baboosh. Luckily for me, it means that thing actually doesn't take off for those. And our final recipe, I think, alternate rubber cable, continuum wire. Still don't care for either of those, but circuit boards that aren't using plastic to diversify things sounds good. It may also be kind of cheaty because I also know. I wonder what you unlock. The supercomputers. Because I do know that there's a thing that you can get that's pretty cool with the things. What do I need for you? Wire and rubber. And with those acquired, that makes for a very easy another alternate recipe. So I've been a little bit busy between the last clip and this one, as is pretty much the theme today. I've gotten rid of, very careful of where I'm looking, all of the, except for up there, all of the storage things in here, they have all gone down here, as well as the ones that are up the top. All the machines in there are gone. I've got a little ramp so I can at least get to the top floor. And I now have this guru thing here so I can land in it. But we have a brand new factory up the top here. And this one is... okay, this doesn't stay here, this is just for me to get up, which worked perfectly before, but now I can't get up here. Grabbing one iron node. That's feeding into the smelters here. Everything here is a little bit slightly cramped because of the space that we have, and grabs the copper ore from over there and smelts it. So that's going into 4 machines while the iron only goes into 2. That's all. Everything's planned out to be super efficient. That's a module 2, Mark 2. I believe that one is, yeah, that one's Mark 2 as well. And then they are all combined together in their own lines, smelted, and they go up to the second floor. This one is a little bit very cramped. So this is essentially our, where is, I don't have any on here. I have to go up to the next floor to actually check it. This will be our our alternate stitched iron plate factory. So we're producing 2 of these. They'll be there. I haven't finished the floor yet. I figured I'd bring you guys in while it's a little bit easy to traverse the area. But you can see the monstrosity that's happening down here. So the copper ore comes up here, splits off, so evenly goes in between these 2, because the copper ore only uses 15. The 15, 30, and those 2 make it the 60. That's all brought up from down the bottom. And the iron ore's on this side, goes into this machine, travels up along that belt, and into that smelting machine. And then we have the product of this one and this one. They're going to be, this is what I was bringing you guys in on, merge into this one. And we just have enough room because this produces out 45, so that's 90 in total. And plus 15, so we're already using a Mark II belt here, so there's just enough room to fit both of these on here. And then they're going to split off up there to go up the top to be used. But we're going to be using we'll be using our first smart split here once I get an AI limiter made up. So they'll be plumped right here. And we'll have the iron plates go that way and the wire join these 2 outputs and go up it that way. And easy enough, I have both of the things required to make the AI limiters, which is just circuit boards and quick wire. Might make a couple of those, which is all I have is the 4, and then just quickly get up to the top. There's only a little minor inconvenience to get up and down here for the moment. There's a lot of people opening and slamming doors, could they not? There we go, our first smart splitter. And let's see, we want, we'll face this way, I presume. To the left, we have, wow, it's backwards. No, it's ordered. Nice. So we have the iron plate, and I wouldn't technically have to specify these, but I will just in case. I don't really need to. But then the wire. So that is that. I've obviously been sort of ignoring the building process of this, as done it. Well, not really a lot before, but I wanted to try and fit everything in this episode, which I don't know if we're really gonna have the time to do. I'm just gonna quickly finish up this floor as well. Unfortunately, it's not time, but there it is. I've also gone around and fixed up all of the conveyor belts, so they're all good. I've just been using the standard ones to go around and hook everything up. We have an extra bin. We have a bin here for some wire to go into, because we're producing 180, to which we only need 150 of, because these require 7.5 per minute. So we have an overflow bin, or if we need wire for anything else. This one, I just have to remember, is getting only 30 a minute. That's good. I'm not going to bother about storing this yet, because that's probably, more than likely, these are going to just go over to there, be my guess. But I still have yet to run power up through here, but again, I'm not turning any of this stuff on just yet. This is just the organization of the factory, and I've also added a jumperoo pad here, which allows us to easily get up to the top, so that this building might have a little bit of a wonky corner on it, but it functions good. So I've gotten myself a little bit lost on what I've been trying to do here. I've basically just dug myself a hole of just everything's all cleaned up, nothing's running. At this point, it better be the steel power plant. Power plant? Steelworks thing should be completely altered itself. I've got the bottom first, or end for, whichever way you want to look at it, smelters, going up to the second floor here. Don't know if I showed this off. This is where my little tower of get things up is going to be. So hopefully not fall off. At the moment it's going to be splitting it in half, the jabbing, because I don't need as many rods. Although more likely that's going to just immediately disappear. Going into 4 machines, each getting 15 of the ingots to put out 15 rods. And for my current purposes, I only need 24 rods, so we're just using these two to get 30. That's going up to the next floor, which is actually going to be easier if I go this way. See, I've got another little bridge over there. Ooh, I didn't think I was going to make that. I usually make that jump from a lot higher up. And that is just carrying over the... what is it? The plates? Yeah, the plates that I made over there, and bringing them into this machine. La 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 la. I went and had a look at the milestones and normal production stuff that I need to make. So I want to upgrade our power. So I need to automate the heavy modular frames. I think they're in the milestones as well. I'm not sure at this point. I literally just looked at them, but I don't remember. But we also need the computers, and we have a bajillion amount of motors, so that's no worry. Yeah, it took me a while to get this looking, or being happy with this. I did want it to just be the belt, but it looks weird when it's sort of just floating there. This kind of looks weird, but it looks better. But we're leaving it with that for the moment. But I worked out that I need 8 of these a minute. So, voila, I've been making and deconstructing the manufacturer down the bottom. We can make these big things. My left mouse, I feel like the mouse click is slowly dying. This thing is huge. It's beautiful. You can see it aside it. Oh boy. But the heavy modular frame, because we have the 2 recipes. We have this one and then the unlocked one. With all of them, we're using these ones because they give us more. It does take... Oh, this one's a bit more. Ooh, interesting. But usually it takes only double the amount of time, not a little bit more, and then requiring a little bit more resources as well, which makes sense. It requires 8 of these. We click that. We're technically 7.5. 7.5 a minute. No, we're still low. So technically, I need 2 of these machines, so that entire building over there needs to be doubled, which is nuts. Did not realize how much that would be, but what I think I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to turn it on so that it can just function, but at the same time, in order for me to do that, I then need to go get the encased industrial beams and steel pipes. We'll get these being made again. And then bring the concrete and steel pipes over here. Yeah, so we're gonna be in a bit of an odd spot for the next episode or so. Again, like I said, I wanted all of this to be done this episode, but it's just not gonna happen. So yeah, and then me doing all of this pretty much off camera. Well, I did all of it off camera and just showed you guys. Seems a bit weird how I've done most things, but figured since we're just redoing things, it wouldn't matter as much. I didn't realize how flippin' big this would be. So either I have to maybe separate. No, I'm gonna have to expand it left and right, I think is where I'm gonna go. I didn't want to bring it further this way, but I might have to. I might only be able to bring it over one tile though instead of two. Because as I've said many a times, I did want this area up here to be our like giant power plant platform. Might have to go back a bit further. And we're going to have to move the hub. They'll probably go down on that giant platform with access to the sky, because I don't know what would happen if he doesn't have access to the sky. That would be a bit weird. But I think I'm going to leave the episode here. It could be slightly shorter, but my estimations are usually wrong. Wow. Just get flung off. I've got the Mark IV belts down here. They are insane and just super fast. I've almost been thrown off this building a couple of times because I've drained all of the items out of there. All the items that were up there, in here and on here, except for the quick wire over there, and all of those are in these storage silos. There's a lot of items here. Because I'm not getting rid of anything. Why would I do that? Why would I want to do that? It's a lot of pipes. Anyway. So that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And hopefully we can get the base up and running next episode, if not the episode after that. But anyway, that's all. And I shall see you guys next time. But until then, bye.